candidate for the Minnesota House of Representatives. Welcome, Barb.
Good morning, Roseanne.
I feel like I should curtsy. I'm
Not at
glad
all.
you're here, and I want to learn a little bit about you. So tell me, where are you a local girl? And give me a little bit about your background.
Oh, I'd love to. Yes, I was born and raised in Red Wing.
Okay. What was your maiden name?
My maiden name was May.
Okay.
You can't call me Barbie, but there still are people in town that will do that. But born and raised here and graduated from the old Central High School downtown.
Okay.
And then I graduated of St. Thomas University, and my husband and I moved back here 17 years ago because I wanted my kids to have the same growing up. Yourself out
That's
there,
exactly
right?
right. Why would you put yourself out there?
I've done a lot of work in the community in the past 17 years, as you know. I've worked in healthcare and education and on some workforce initiatives and have been involved as a mom in the schools. And I think the issues that are important to people still need work, whether it is reducing our healthcare costs or helping our small businesses, working on a better tax structure for hardworking families. And those things I felt I could do more at the state level. So I was ready to serve, continue serving, but take it to the state capitol.
Now tell me, how big is your district?
Well, my district is 21A, so it includes Red Wing, Cannon Falls, Lake City, Goodhue, Belchester.
So it's the counties of
It's-
Wabasha and...
Goodhue and Wabasha counties.
So have you been knocking on doors
I
yet?
have been knocking on doors, and it's a big district when you start knocking on doors.
Any rural area in your district?
Oh, absolutely. All the farms.
And I had to ask her, how about the dogs? Have any of them tried to attack you yet?
I have not gotten bitten. One of my volunteers has. But somebody gave me the tip to always carry dog treats in your pocket. So,
Yeah, and throw them and then turn around and run like
yeah,
heck.
it's actually going very well.
that's good.
I enjoy it when I get to be out
Well,
talking to
people
people.
are on the whole, nice people. They have Minnesota nice is alive
Certainly.
and well. But what's the mood you sense out there that you're walking on doors? Are they all happy campers? And
No, I guess I would have to be honest and say people are somewhat frustrated with politics, both on the federal level and maybe on the state level too.
probably on parties too, both parties.
Right, it doesn't matter the political party. They want government to work for them, and they want things to get done. They want their roads and bridges fixed. They want a strong education system for their kids. They want being a non-politician. I can
You're going to
understand-
learn quickly.
I will learn quickly. But integrity is important to me, and I think people just want a straight talker, and they want somebody that's going to work hard and tell it to them like it is, and that's my style. So,
I think, what do you think is the most important thing if and when you get elected? Is it the listening or the talking?
well, it's definitely the listening,
That's the important thing I think people forget.
right? But it's also the ability to bring people together. And I'm a relationship builder, and whether it was my business career or my nonprofit and community work, you have to bring people together in order to get things done. You don't accomplish anything singularly on your own. And that would be also, I'd say, the most important thing to take to St. Paul, is you need to work together.
Yeah, that's too bad we can't. Minnesota Nice stops at the door of the legislature here
Well,
in Minnesota.
I hope not.
Do you remember, now I won't, little Rickovina, Tom Rickovina, and he was a believer. And he said when they started, I guess in the old days, everybody was kind of on the same floor, mixed offices, then they went Republican. They're just so segregated. And now they're building that new building. Is it going to be open, do you know, in time? I don't think so.
Yes, it will. That'll be an exciting part of joining the legislature. The Capitol will be finished in January.
Did you know that new building sprung a leak?
It did.
A big
It did, and so all those folks have to, deal with moving out of their offices. That's kind of a mess.
Now, this atmosphere that we're living in now, this national campaign is getting, in my words, pretty ugly. And that, I think, will have some effect. Do you think it will on local people? I don't know. A lot of people are going to get turned off. How do you get them there?
You know, when I talk to people at the door, whether it's at, other meet and greet events, I encourage them to not give up. We still have the greatest democracy in the world, and we have to stay engaged, and we have to continue to push the conversation and bring things to light that are important to working people and families. And so I tell them at the door, get excited about Barb's race.
That's your race,
Join
huh?
me. Join me.
You were asked about the ballot. If it's
Oh, yes, I was asked.
more than once, I'll bet.
Yeah, more than once, actually. The voter was struggling with the presidential race and the decision they were going to make, and they were concerned that if they didn't pick
Vote
a
for
presidential
somebody.
candidate, that their ballot would not count. And I thought that was an interesting question, and yet I've been asked it a number of times. So I encourage people, it is a privilege to vote in this country, and don't abdicate that privilege. Go to the polls, and yes, your ballot will still count.
If you don't want to vote for a single person, your ballot will still count.
Yes.
So that, I was asked that too, and I remember myself when I first started voting, I don't want to vote for this guy, but if I don't vote for somebody, will they throw it out? No, they won't.
No,
Your ballot
your
will
vote still
count when you
counts.
vote for who you want.
Right.
The judges, if I don't know the judge, I don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
If I know the judge, I'll vote. But it's a hard choice.
And most things that affect, our daily life here in Minnesota are state issues. So the state races and the congressional races are very important for people to stay informed on and participate in.
And we had Matt Schmidt on, remember, Jack? And he said there's still hope for bonding.
Or whatever, instead of the land of 10,000 lakes in Minnesota, it's been the land of 10,000 special sessions lately. It really has.
Well, I didn't believe him, but the paper yesterday or today, it said that they are looking at having a special session. And, in my mind, they almost have to, because he'd be hurting so many cities and just citizens if they don't pass something.
Right. I was pleased to hear that news as well. There's the transportation bill that's been worked on so heavily the past 2 years, and that's very important for our district, as well as the bonding bill. We have important projects in that bonding bill. And the tax bill, that had the most bipartisan support of any tax bill in
Yeah.
30 years
And why didn't
in
it
the
pass,
state. So I remain encouraged.
Well, that's good. Are you encouraged, Jack?
Well, yeah, and again, in the real world, you don't get your work done on time. Sometimes, you know what happens? You're out the door. Well,
That's true.
guess what? In November,
Sweep them out.
well, it's a chance for our, the general public to, as you mentioned, that's your one chance to make your voice really heard at the ballot box.
Now, how many hours a day are you putting in on this part-time job that you're looking for?
Oh, yeah, it is definitely a full-time job to campaign. I've told people it's 12 and 15-hour days, and it's 7 days a week. There's just a lot of work to be done in a short amount of time when you think of the door knocking and the parades and the marketing and just getting out to see people. That's what I enjoy the most, and
Yeah.
I get up every day and say, how many people am I going to talk to today?
Do you go by yourself, or do you take somebody with you?
I was by myself in the beginning, and now I usually take a friend or a volunteer because it just makes it more fun.
Well, especially in the rural areas, there's a lot of sometimes miles in between
Right.
farms, and if you get lost, it'd be nice to have somebody navigate for you.
I am getting very good at using my GPS, and if my kids are listening, they'll laugh because they think I'm directionally challenged, but I'm getting better.
Well, I am directionally challenged. So fundraising is always big. And you said you work so hard. You're not sorry yet that you got into this, are you?
Oh, not at all. I announced February 18th, so I figure right now I'm over halfway through, and the fall will be an exciting time to campaign as the issues kind of are more
Water.
You're right about that.
Jack, how much time we got this half?
Let's see, about a minute here, Roseanne.
Okay. Maybe can we break now? And then we will be right back.
You bet.
If you're looking for a hard-working, versatile tractor with the comfort and simplicity of a compact that also offers the muscle you need for bigger jobs, see our friends at Loader Myers Incorporated about the Massey Ferguson 2700 E-Series. Mowing, loader work, this Massey Ferguson Myers Incorporated in Goodhue today.
Highway 61 in downtown Red Wing is under construction. Some businesses have limited access during this time. Limited is the key word, meaning all businesses have access. You might just have to go out of your way a small bit, and we ask that you do so. Please do your best to patronize these businesses and assist them as they endure a business slowdown during construction. They appreciate it, we appreciate it, and so will you. Thank you for your support. See you in downtown Red Wing.
Look good, feel great in men's riders by Lee Jeans from Mills Fleet Farm. There's a large selection to choose from, and they're $4 off the low fleet prices. Get your dog on the gravy train. 13.2-ounce cans of Gravy Train are only 37 cents each. Big bags of Fleet Farm solar salt crystals are on sale. 60 pounds, just $5.49. And stock up on Fleet Farm dry roasted peanuts. 4 16-ounce jars, only $7 at Mills Fleet Farm.
Hey, join me, Dr. Joe Sievely, on the radio every Saturday morning with Hope Plaque, Natural Solutions for Better Health. Dr. Joe on the radio Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1250 KCUE.
The Weather Eye Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Spend more time enjoying summer and less time. Wood grain appearance, and it's 15% thicker than standard vinyl siding in 9 attractive colors. Choose from the traditional look of double 4-inch wide siding, only $5.98 per piece. Now during the Priced Right sale at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm meteorologist Greg Tatro with your Bluff Country Weather Eye forecast. An excessive heat watch starts mid-Thursday morning. For this afternoon, we'll see our skies become partly cloudy with isolated storms developing, southeast winds and highs in the mid-80s. For tonight, showers and storms likely, partly to mostly cloudy, southeast winds and low 70s. Wednesday, lingering storms and then skies south winds and middle 70s. Right now, it's 84.
Hi, welcome back to Community Focus. This is Roseanne Grasso, and I'm speaking with Barb Haley, who is a candidate for the Minnesota House of Representatives. And we've been talking about how much work you've done, and you still got a long ways to go. And what do you think about fundraising? Is it fun? There's fun in fundraising, but I don't believe it.
Well, it can be, Roseanne. It can be. I've done a lot of fundraising in my life, whether it was for Children's Hospital or for the community groups in Red Wing or the schools. And the way I think of fundraising is it gives a person an opportunity to support you. And whether somebody writes me a $5 check or a $500 check, then they are a supporter because they're part of my team. You just have to continue to ask. Yeah. And maybe that's my sales background too.
And I told you years ago when I was running for office, I went to a lady named Shirley, whose last name I don't remember, who was terrific up in the cities to help new candidates. And she said one of the biggest problems women have when they run for office is they don't like to ask for money. And I think that's true.
Well, that's an interesting comment.
It's not easy. I know I had a tough time writing a letter to people I hardly know and say, give me your support.
Right.
But
I would say political fundraising is harder than other fundraising.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Because people don't oftentimes, that's not their tradition to be involved in a campaign that way. But we need to pull out that engagement from the voters.
And then, first time I've had you on this show was a couple, 3-4 years ago.
Right.
And I had your son on the show. He's with the robotics team. And the robotics team came to Red Wing thanks to you. Weren't you the instigator of that program, which I think is wonderful and fun?
Yeah, it has been a phenomenal program. My son and I started that when he was a 10th grader. He was very interested in robotics, and I said, well, we've only got 2 or 3 years left of high school. We better get going. And it has been an extraordinary amount of fun to see these kids and what they are capable of and what they've learned. And really, in Red Wing now, we have a middle school robotics program, so now we've got kids coming into the high school that have already been
now the middle
involved
school,
in it.
is that the Lego one?
Yes, it is. It's the Lego program.
They build Lego robots.
Right.
That should be
Right.
fun. Remember, Jack, the first year we had him on, there were 5 kids.
Right.
1 girl
Yep.
and 4 guys.
Uh-huh.
And she was the brains of the outfit.
Right.
Her dad was an engineer, and she did a wonderful job.
Kids need to go to work for NASA. You know, we were talking off air about how the space program has basically gone to smithereens.
Yeah.
And I think, as Barb mentioned during the break too, where have our heroes gone? Just think back in the 60s and 70s when the space program was, and we were we involved in a major war back then. We had
still
all of
are.
the civil unrest that we have now, but we
Yeah.
got things done. That's what we need to get back to. Sorry, there I sound like I was campaigning.
Well, you can if you want to.
What's
No.
also been interesting with the robotics program is the connection we've made with the manufacturers in our region. I've taken kids on tours to see the companies, and those folks these are the kids they want to hire down the road.
Yeah.
And that's an issue that I've been very
And the
passionate
first
about.
year, like I said, we had 5. The next year we had more. This year,
Over 30 kids.
Over 30 kids, and they brought 20-some to the competition in Duluth.
Right.
And I went, and oh my gosh, I was blown away. They had representatives from just about every technical company in the country. There was Polaris was there, Boeing was there, Cirrus was there, Polaris, yeah, that's
Right.
a local manufacturer. But these guys were impressive, and you're right. They're looking for new blood, people that can bring them and stay in the 21st century.
Right.
And I know I was blown away. And to see those robots, to think how much they cost to put together.
Absolutely, and just the different solutions that the kids come up with is always fascinating to me. They're all given the same problem or challenge to solve, and then you can have thousands of different ways that they create a robot to compete in the game. It's amazing.
Now, Roseanne and Barb, correct me if I'm wrong, but these high-tech companies, they have more openings than they have people to fill them.
That's right. That's why
Absolutely.
they're there.
Looking for, I'm telling you, if you're a young person, boy, you get into science and engineering, boy, you can almost write your own ticket.
And it turns those kids on, and it was, I thought I was at a pep rally with about 3,000 people, and it was impressive. Everybody was impressive, and I was thrilled. There was an all-girl team.
Right?
Built their own robots, and it's about time.
Right, absolutely.
They did wear pink, though, didn't they?
They did wear pink. But as Jack said, when you look at the base of manufacturing
Right.
in our region and the companies that have open positions now as well as in the future as their current employee base is retiring, the
That's it.
opportunities are so great for kids, whether it's robotics or welding or
And
plumbing or
manufacturing
CNC
isn't
operating.
the same as it used to be. That's going high-tech, all of it.
It absolutely is. And
I
the
remember
skills that these kids have are in high demand, and the
Yes.
kids need to know that and be very encouraged by it.
I remember 1960 in Mr. Huebner's class saying, pretty soon we're going to be obsolete because robots will be doing all our work, and it's getting closer, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know that we'll be obsolete. Somebody's got to build the robots and repair the robots. But I tell my son I'm glad he's with us because he'll be able to help me figure it out.
So now today is, what are you doing today, Barb? What's your schedule?
Well, today after talking to you, I have some fundraising calls to make. And then I need to prepare some more marketing materials, and then that will lead to a fundraising event tonight in Lake City. So
No door knocking today.
if I can fit that in and not be too hot,
Oh, it's going to be hot.
but it's going to be a hot week, so we'll be out there, but maybe in shorter stints.
So when you're knocking on all these doors, does anything out there ever surprise you when people say something? Are you ever surprised at what they say or what they're thinking?
There's surprises every day. I'm just encouraged when I can have a conversation. A lot of people aren't home,
True.
or they don't want to answer the door. I meet more dogs, perhaps.
Just put your literature in their mouth.
Yeah, I would encourage people to take the opportunity. It's a chance to have a one-on-one conversation and have their
And
views
it's funny
heard.
you should say that. I remember knocking on doors with the panel, and it was a split, and I could see the woman holding her dog looking
Right.
at the door. Then you know they don't want to be bothered.
Right.
And it is,
absolutely.
it does bother some folks. You don't know what you're walking into.
Oh, right, and I respect that as well.
So nothing really surprises you. There's nothing new under the sun, is there?
Well,
Is there one question that threw you out there or something that somebody asked and you thought, oh, wow?
Well, I think it was the question about the ballot, actually. That was a new one
Oh, sure.
that we talked about before the break. And then there's a lot of young people. I've met a lot of first-time voters, and I think it's that's a good thing that's come out of the national debate, is that it's gotten kids interested and engaged. And I encourage them to make sure that they vote, even if they're going off to college this fall, make sure they participate in the election.
Now, you said the League of Women Voters is going to have something, not with you guys, is it you or just on a city level?
I think for the Senate and state races, that'll be later in the fall, but I believe there's an event this Thursday at the library
For
for
the
the city council and the mayoral race.
I'm just curious. I don't know how to ask this. I'm not being politically correct, so maybe I won't, but this, you could just see in their eyes, you're a woman. What are you doing here? You ever get any of that feeling?
I have to say I haven't gotten that
Good.
yet.
Things have gotten
And-
better in
And
20
maybe
years.
things have gotten better, right.
I think there's a few more women out there doing that, but we need a lot more.
Well, it's good to see women participating. We're half of the society, and I believe more in the looking at a person's background and their qualifications and their experience and voting on that.
What kind of shoes do you wear when you knock on doors?
Oh, when I decided to run, a friend told me to get 3 new pairs of tennis shoes because I'd go through all of them this summer. So I'm still on my first pair, but definitely comfortable shoes.
That's where the
Good
rubber.
thing we have a shoe store in town, and I
gonna
can
say,
get a
yeah.
good supply from Red Wing Shoes.
There we go, where the rubber meets the road, the campaign trail. There it
That's
is.
true.
Yes.
That's true. And are you looking forward to your first one-on-one with your opponent? That's coming up in the fall.
That'll come up
probably.
in the fall, yeah, and those are always great opportunities. I think, again, the electorate might get more engaged in
Right.
the fall, and the chance for us to hear different opinions and different approaches to government. That's what it's all about.
My favorite stop in my campaigning days was in Kenyon, at either the VFW or something. Fun. And the year I was running, I think Dayton was running, but I don't remember if it was for Senate or because it was a long time ago. And I remember he was late. He came in and sat next to me, and I thought I was at home. All I smelled was garlic. I don't know what he had for lunch, but it must have been good. But that is fun, and people do get engaged.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jack, you got a question?
Another great place, where people get together. You always see folks on the campaign trail. They'll stop at like restaurants or coffee shops.
Oh,
Those
yes.
are great places. I know Billy's place down. Hannah Baker, one of
Right.
our great sponsors. A lot of people stop on there on the stops as well.
I suppose he'll be doing his...
Plus, he does have the election cookies.
Cookie
That I'm
thing.
sure
That's
he'll
right.
have that coming out here. You can bet your bottom dollar
So
on
that
that.
would probably be for governor. No, he's not running. It would have to
No, it
be
won't
for
be for
Senate.
governor, so maybe
Presidential, it'd be,
presidential.
you never know what
Maybe
he'll-
it could be for the House.
There might
Oh,
be a
yeah.
Barb Haley cookie and a
Let's
baby
do it.
cookie.
Let's do it.
There we go.
But I agree, Jack. There's a lot of coffee groups, at
Yep.
the restaurants throughout the region, and it's a great place to sit down and talk to folks
Yeah.
one-on-one.
What's fun is to
And
walk in where there's a table of all these retired guys, and believe
Right.
me, they all tell you what to
They
do and help
absolutely
you
will.
solve
and
the problems.
I've met with a lot of them. It's fun.
If you
is.
don't
Those
believe them,
conversations
just
are
ask them.
fun.
They'll tell you.
What's we doing for time here, Jack?
We have about a minute and a half left.
Is there anything you'd like to say, Barb, in 30, 40 seconds that I didn't ask you that you'd like to get out there?
Well, sure. I appreciate the opportunity to be on the show, and hopefully we'll do it again in the fall. As I said, I would encourage people to get engaged and vote and help support all of your candidates. And I'm certainly asking how to get things done, and I'm a relationship builder, and I think that's what's needed in St. Paul. And I really appreciate all the folks that have opened their door to talk to me as I've been door knocking. And I encourage them to look at my website and give me a call and let me know what
I
issues
suppose
are on
your
their
name,
mind.
if they Google your name, your website will come up. Barb
Yes,
Haley.
they will, HaleyForHouse.com.
Oh, Haley for House. That's,
And we're also out on Facebook as well.
well, see, I'm a dinosaur with a flip phone. I don't have Facebook, so it's nice to have you here to talk
I
to.
can give you a written piece of literature that you can take away.
I think somebody left one at my door.
There we go.
I think-
That's old school. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, oh, that's good, though. It works. Well, thank you for coming
Thank
in,
you,
and I
Roseanne.
wish
Thank
you
you,
luck.
Jack.
And don't forget your water. There's first.
Downtown Patty Brown.
Yes, my guest, well, she'll be my guest because my other one can't make it, but
Sure.
she had called, and I said, yeah, you can come on. And I have a feeling she'll be talking about River City Days and some of that other stuff. So thank you again, Barb. Good luck. And Jack, thank you for your work. And thanks for listening.
Thank you.
folks.